The holographic transmission flickered to life across every human colony, station, and vessel in known space. Supreme Chancellor Zor-Athi of the Galactic Council stood before the assembled representatives of 47 alien civilizations, his crystalline exoskeleton gleaming under the chamber lights. "Humanity," his translated voice echoed with deliberate gravity. "Your species has been found in violation of Protocol 7749 Alpha. You have expanded beyond your designated zones. You have refused genetic modification mandates. You have rejected our authority. The Council hereby declares a state of war effective immediately." On Earth, in the bustling command center of the Unified Terran Defense, Captain Elsa Martinez watched the transmission with her arms crossed. Her dark eyes didn't widen in fear. Instead, the corner of her mouth twitched upward. "They actually did it," she murmured. Beside her, Commander Elvish Chen leaned back in his chair, a full grin spreading across his weathered face. "Took them long enough. I had money on last Tuesday." "This isn't funny, Elvish," Admiral Richardson barked from across the room, though even he couldn't hide the slight smirk tugging at his stern features. "Isn't it, though?" Elvish replied, pulling up tactical displays. "They've been threatening us for 3 years. 3 years of posturing, ultimatums, and economic sanctions, and we just kept smiling and building." Elsa nodded, her fingers dancing across her console. "All fleets, this is command. Proceed to Condition Yellow. Activate Protocol Pandora's Box." Across human space, the response was immediate. Not panic, not fear, anticipation. The Galactic Council had made a fundamental miscalculation. They had observed humanity's brief history in space, barely 2 centuries since first contact, and seen a young species, eager and naive. They had watched humans comply with some regulations, negotiate on others, and politely decline the rest. They had interpreted humanity's diplomacy as weakness. They had never asked why humanity smiled so much. Zor-Athi's invasion force assembled at the edge of the Sol system within 48 hours. 3,000 warships, representing the combined might of the Council's enforcement fleets. It was, by any galactic standard, an overwhelming force, enough to crush civilizations that had existed for millennia. The Council fleet expected desperate transmissions, pleas for mercy, perhaps a hurried surrender. Instead, they received a simple message. "Welcome to Sol. Please proceed. We've been expecting you." The voice belonged to Elsa, broadcasting from the flagship Indomitable. Beside her, Elvish monitored the enemy formations, his grin never wavering. "They're taking the bait," he reported. "Full formation, advancing in standard Council doctrine. Shields forward, weapons charged, confidence maximum." "Of course they are," Elsa replied. "They wrote the doctrine. They think everyone fights like them." What the Council didn't know, what they couldn't have known because humanity had smiled and never told them, was that humans didn't fight like anyone else. Humanity had studied every species in the Council, not just their politics and culture, but their biology, their psychology, their history. While alien races had evolved on worlds where cooperation was paramount, where conflicts were ritualized and warfare was constrained by honor codes and regulations, humanity had evolved on a death world where everything wanted to kill you and your own species most of all. Earth had produced predators who learned to work together, apex hunters who turned teamwork into an art form, a species that had nearly destroyed itself a dozen times and somehow always came back more determined. The Council had rules for warfare. Humanity had Darwin. "Activate the ghosts," Elsa commanded. Across the Sol system, thousands of objects that had been floating innocuously for years suddenly came alive. Asteroid mining stations revealed themselves as fortress weapons platforms. Research satellites dropped their camouflage to unveil missile arrays. The peaceful cargo haulers approaching the Council fleet jettisoned their hulls to reveal strike craft, fast, aggressive, and completely outside Council warfare doctrine. But the real surprise was the human fleet itself. Elvish watched the tactical display with satisfaction as Council sensors finally penetrated humanity's electronic warfare. The 300 human vessels they'd detected suddenly became 3,000, then 30,000. "Drones!" Zorathi's tactical officer gasped over the intercepted communications. "They're all drones!" "Not all," Elvish corrected, though the alien couldn't hear him. "But enough." This was humanity's doctrine. Why risk lives when you could risk machines? Why fight fair when you could fight smart? Why follow rules written by people who'd never truly understood war? The Council fleet tried to adapt, but they were fighting an enemy that didn't exist in their tactical databases. Human drones swarmed like insects, each controlled by AI systems that learned and adapted in real time. They didn't form neat battle lines. They didn't wait for proper engagement range. They certainly didn't follow any Council protocol. They struck like Earth's piranhas, Earth's army ants, Earth's wolves, predators from a world that had taught its children well. Elsa watched the battle unfold with the calm efficiency of someone who'd planned for this moment, not hoped for it. Planned. "Zorathi is trying to retreat," Elvish reported. "Let him," Elsa said. "Let them all go. Let them report exactly what happened here." The Supreme Chancellor's flagship limped away with a quarter of his force. Behind him, the wreckage of Council pride floated in the void, a testament to the galaxy's mistake. As the last Council vessel jumped away, Elvish turned to Elsa. "Think they'll be back?" She smiled, that same smile humanity had been showing the galaxy for 2 centuries. The smile that everyone had mistaken for friendliness instead of the baring of teeth it truly was. Maybe, but now they know why humans smile. We don't smile because we're weak, Elvish. We smile because we know something they don't. What's that? That in a universe full of civilizations that evolved cooperation, humanity evolved competition, and then we learned to cooperate anyway? She gestured to the displays, showing human colonies across dozens of systems, each one celebrating their victory. "We're predators who chose to be peaceful. But we never forgot how to hunt." Elvish nodded, his own smile matching hers. "The Council declared war on humanity." "Yes," Elsa agreed, "and humanity declared it a learning opportunity." Across human space, the message went out. The war was over before it truly began. The galaxy would remember this day, not as humanity's first war, but as the day they understood why humans smiled. It was the smile of a species that had climbed from the bottom of the food chain to the top and remembered every lesson along the way.